I'll turn it on. Yeah, so some of us have gotten our ballots in. Not all of us have been visited by the Secret Service or marshals yet.
I'd expect the Secret Service or marshals here in Sacramento. I mean, they got a big presence here, so they could almost walk to my house.
Well, that's good. Maybe they will. You know, if they come, at least you know we're getting some reaction.
Well, basically, you need to be prepared to get something into the U.S. Attorney's Office also if that judge does not comply within the 3-day time limit. Okay?
That's a good idea.
You basically put a charge in against them because the Justice Department will go after judges. Okay? Especially if they're violating the damn law. See, everybody thinks that this is all about these laws. But what laws are they? They're banking laws. Nothing more, nothing less. It's just one big trust bank. Okay? But now we have two trust banks here. One, the lawful constitutional trust bank, and then we have this commercial constructive legal trust bank. And the judges are nothing but account managers. They fit all the same billets as an account manager at the damn local bank. You want to transfer funds around from one account to another, okay? Or you do a settlement, or you cash in and bond against your item. Who you go see? The account manager. Now, if the account managers are not doing their job, then basically you have to bring charges against them by going to the Justice Department, the Attorney Generals. But each state also has U.S. attorneys sitting there that are working for the Justice Department. They're supposed to be representing the customers of the bank. Does this make any sense to anybody out here?
Yes, so we should maybe go to our U.S. attorney near that.
Tom, please. You sit in the background tonight, okay? I want other people to start talking.
I'm here, Pat. I'll talk.
Okay. What do you think? Does this make sense? Okay? Did you read the two different documents that I had Tom post up on the site today about the two different governments, a lawful and legal constructive equity trust banks and court? That's the government. They're just banks. Article 3 judges are required by law, by the Constitution, to be qualified as an elector. If they're not qualified as an elector, they're holding that Article 3 judge position in fraud. Constructive fraud.
But the problem seems to be, Patrick, they don't give a shit. And I don't know if the attorney.
That's why, and basically, there have been judges taken down, okay? One guy over in Chicago brought about 3 or 4 federal judges down. He was in a wheelchair. Okay? The guy's dead now, but he died probably about 5-6 years ago. But he was over in Chicago there. He'd been on one of those talk deals on up there in Canada. I can't remember his damn name, and I don't have the damn link. But, yeah, I've been following that stuff well back 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, I've been trying to remember his name, too. Simon Chu.
That's beside the point. There's been judges everywhere across the country that have been taken down.
Okay.
Because they've violated banking rules. Okay? Pocketing funds. Okay? That's all this is. It's basically, if they're patting in their back pocket, they're ripping off the damn bank. The trust. And we deposited our assets in there. Now, when we gave them a vote, they have to comply. At the district court level, federal district court, it's under Title 28 U.S.C. 1346. Okay? We were addressing that before. Okay?
Should we have put those things on the ballot itself? You know, about like you're saying 1346 and these other things that sometimes.
If you want to, basically, it should be somewhere in my past records. I don't know whether it's still up there on the site or not.
Yeah.
But basically, I had it up there before when we went to try and go to the court back there about 2 years ago. And see, the district court can handle things up to $10,000. Any other civil action or claim against the United States not exceeding $10,000 in amount. But really, they can go more than that. Okay? But that $10,000 was founded upon the Constitution or Act of Congress or any regulation of an executive department upon express or implied contract. That's number 2 in that article under District Court A. Okay? When you read it. I've addressed this all before. So I turned around this morning and I put up that fax cover sheet to basically I addressed going in there that I was charging that judge now with a $10,000 fine. Okay? He's been noticed for breach of trust office and violation of constructive banking laws. Hell, if they can impose a damn fine against us, and we're superior to them as a U.S. elector, cannot we impose a fine upon them for not doing their job? The answer is yes. And basically we can go after them and place that $10,000 fine just like they would as a lien against their bank account. We've given them proper notification. Now, if the U.S. Marshals and stuff like that try and say that that's a threat, they better fucking read the law. They better know who in the hell they're working for. They're the bailiffs. The U.S. Marshals are. And the bailiffs work for the bailor. That is us. We the people, not the court. So many people in this government, just like out there in the general world, they have never been properly told what their job assignments are. So they really don't know what their job really is. They just go in there and act like they know what they're doing. And hope that maybe something will rub off on them by sitting in a desk that was previously owned by somebody. Osmosis or something. I don't know. But do you guys have any opinion on how a bank works? Okay? I tried to put some definitions up there and some explanations of what's going on here. We've been recognized out here by the court system. I've been to almost every court out there. They all come back and they say, well, we can't do anything for you. Okay? Why can't they do anything for us? Because we were not voting the action. Okay? We were wishing or something maybe to try and get something done, but we weren't coming in with an actual vote. And basically at the federal level, at least these nitwits understand that basically they cannot vote for us by proxy. Now the state, local, barroom, courthouse, back wall judges and prosecutors, they think they know the damn law. They don't even know that this is all about banking. They really think that there's some law here. But they don't know it's banking law. That's the deception that basically has been perpetrated. But yet they know how to go and put a charge or a lien or a claim against somebody. That's the only thing that they know. Any comments? But see, we've been recognized, since I've gone to every court, we've been recognized already as being an elector because they can't do it. Okay, now, we go to the Secretary of State and we demand to have our name as a United States elector placed upon the green sheet for that state, and also to be given a green identification card as a United States elector for this state. That's what you need to have be placed in service. They're supposed to keep a list of valid electors for the state. So that they can call upon them when they're needed. And that they have a means of verification when the electors are called in to vote for the president and stuff like that. See, that's what the Secretary of State at the state level need to do. They need to get you on the green sheet, and then they would notify the National Secretary of State that you are one of those electors on the green sheet, and at that point in time, then you would get your green passport. Do I know this for a fact? No. But I do know it for a fact. okay? Because it's the only logical. And see, I operate as Mr. Spock does, with logic, common sense. It's the only thing that would make any sense in the whole damn process, that you have to have a list of valid United States electors within the state boundaries, so that you know when you're going to have 7 electors from the state of Iowa to vote for the president, you have 7 valid electors.
Well, they tend to get their electors from a different pool, it seems like, the 400.
Yes, that's because nobody has stepped up and claimed to be an elector. Nobody's on the damn green sheet because nobody understands the fucking laws. You understand? I'm trying to tell you what would make logical sense in this whole damn deal from everything that we've looked at. We've been to all the damn doors, so we know what the hell is going on. Just because the judges in all cases don't know everything about it, especially your damn local yokel backwoods county barroom, courtroom. Yeah, those nitwits. Yeah, they don't know what the hell is going on. Hell, half of them are probably drunk going through damn college getting their damn law degree. To buy their way into the bar association. And they're happy just to sit by and just mess with people on trivial bankruptcy charges. Misdemeanor traffic tickets as a criminal charge. Come on, people, wake up. This is total bullshit.
Yeah, but they're running this all as a Freemasonic temple is what they're doing here, and that's, if you're not in their little group, they don't want to with you.
That's where you need to stand up and get properly identified with the Secretary of State. We've been to all the courts. I told you that. Okay? You can stand up to these guys when you stand up the right way. And see, you vote. And you vote as a United States elector per the Constitution, per the state Constitution. Okay? How many of you people have really ever read the damn Constitutions?
I have.
Well, go and read it again. Okay?
I've read
what it says about an elector.
I carry it around with me, Patrick, in my pocket. I read it all.
Okay, what does it say about a House of Representative? Right before that, it says that an elector has to meet the same qualifications as a House of Representative person. And to be a representative, you have to read between the lines and some of that, because you cannot represent another man if you're in debt. You have to be debt-free. Okay? You can't be under any bondage to represent somebody else. But yet you go and turn to all these attorneys, and they are basically in debt to the damn Bar Association. Talk about stupidity. You're going there to get somebody that's already bought and paid for by the other side. Are you going to get proper representation from him? Hell no. That should be the first question out of your mouth. Do you have a bar card? If you got a bar card, basically then you're fired. Because he can't give you representation. He's already bought and paid for.
Well, every judge, including your Article 3 judges, are bar card members because you can't supposedly practice law.
You have to get them to take their bar card away, or basically they have to vacate the office.
Yeah,
Okay?
I think California says that you have to renounce your bar association in order to become a judge.
If you're going to rule in certain matters. Okay, see, they can be a bar judge in the commercial banking system, but when they are dealing with somebody that comes in standing in the lawful, under constitutional law, they cannot be using the bar constructive legal system. And see, that's what we've tried to do, is come in here as the U.S. elector. They have to vacate that office or that title. If they don't, then they are falsely impersonating that office, that Article 3 judge office. Because an Article 3 judge cannot be a debtor, in bondage to anybody, to give the proper ruling, and that covers both sets of trust. The National Constitutional Trust and this commercial constructive bankrupt trust. This government is nothing but two banks. How many nitwit presidents have we had in there, and basically what was their damn background? They were fucking bankers.
They're all Freemasons.
No, they were all bankers.
And they were all
Jimmy Carter, okay? Or they were bought and paid for by putting in there under bankers' control, okay? Ronald Reagan was not a banker, but basically he was under the control of George Bush, a banker.
Right, because Temple Bar, the city of London...
Forget the Temple, okay? It's all about banking, okay? Just keep that word in mind.
Temple Bar is the banker.
Trust and banking, okay? You guys get into this off-the-wall stuff of understanding. If you understand...
It's not off the fucking wall. It's the goddamn Freemasons that run the whole goddamn world. Wake up.
No, it's bankers. It's the fucking money changers.
And the bankers are the fucking Freemasons. Dumbass, my dad was a banker. I know all about it.
Hey, fuck off.
Hello?
Hey, I hope Patrick's still on. Like, I just got on here, but that guy didn't need to be disrespectful and be yelling at Patrick.
No, and he's also wrong. It's the bankers who are in charge of the Freemasons.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick, go.
So, anyhow,
Well, it makes perfect sense to go to the, to do an end run on that issue around what we're doing in the ballot by going to the State Secretary of State and trying to get on the green sheet. And it's very interesting, Because if you're going to be in the electoral college, well, you have to be an elector first to get in the electoral college. You know, because a college is more or less means collection. So it has to be a collection of electors, people who are already electors. So I have no problem with going to the Secretary of State and start just saying I'm doing some research on this and start asking questions. Anybody know who it was that did that?
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
I don't know if my mic's working.
Yes, your mic's working.
Okay. I'm really new to this, but I got a little background on it. Heard the little thing. The City of London was founded with that, the Middle Temple and all like that. And the Vatican, because of the treasures, was getting jealous, says, we're going to discommunicate you, let you do a deal with us. So the Vatican did a deal and says, all right, the City of London could have the banking charter with the Vatican. So, yeah, there is, the bankers come from the City of London temple stuff.
Right, and while it goes back a bit further than that, the City of London bankers actually came from Venice. Because the
repository is in Switzerland.
No, Venice, and in fact, the Vatican was created by the by the Venice Empire in the 900s. It was the whole hoax of the donation of Constantine was a way of basically stealing the Roman Empire. So it's always been is the religious component has been subject to the bankers. And the bankers are very adept at creating all kinds of secret societies. And the Templars were one of them. The Masons were another one. The Illuminati were another one. But they're just all sort of cutouts for the bankers.
Well, it all kind of goes back to Kabbalistic thing. And even in the temples, they say the money's the most important. Without the money, you can't pay my wage for the rabbi, and you can't have this and that. So that's first.
Okay, well.
Hey, who is that guy that pissed off Patrick?
I actually wasn't looking at the control board at the time, but I think I know who it is. And
I think that I heard that guy before on phone calls. He thinks he knows everything, and he just starts mouthing off like that.
Right.
Well, I don't know anything, but I'd sure like to pick some brains while I've got you.
Okay, well...
What do you want to pick brains about? We're trying to get educated and listen to Patrick. We don't need to piss him off, and we don't need to,
He's not there now. Can we talk about something along the same line?
Yeah, we all know the Masons and the Jesuits and everybody run the fucking world. We all know that.
No, I don't want to discuss that.
Yeah, well, what do you want to talk about?
I have the situation where I have a passport accepted as an American national, non-U.S. citizen. They're supposed to come, as it says, the green passport, but they said, there were so too few that they don't issue, but a one-size-fits-all, and in the special cases that would otherwise get a red or a green, which my parents had, that there's page 27 supposed to have special instructions. But when you check into all that, they're only wanting to apply it for diplomats, consuls, and so forth. The thing I'm running into, I've won the banking. I'm outside that Patriot 2 Act. Just like you said, you're not combat. But anyway, so the banking solved. I'm a primary care physician. The state tried to take my license a few years ago, or withhold it. Went all the way back to elementary school, to college things, underlined the you-know-what number. I sent them back a W-8, reason for convenience use, only a mail. You're in error, issue it. And they did. As a non-resident, tax number. So I'm carrying a state board primary care license under an American National standing. It said banking passport. That the only thing I'm hanging up on, and I need a venue. I want to rent cars somewhere. So the state, by not giving this green card, as Patrick mentioned, they're putting us in an impossible to comply with situation. State wants you to be a resident before they'll issue this thing, but if you're a resident, you're taking the privilege of bankruptcy policy. So the maximum law, you can't force somebody to do an impossible legal or lawful situation. The Secretary of State, they do have a situation where they provide, it's similar to consulate ID, and it's with the green ones, the one you prefer, but in a case where someone's homeland does not require a driver's license or the records are not obtainable, they have a special international driving license. This does not deal with that UN IDP, but it would substitute for the state-issued license. You could get the IDP, then you get your insurance, rent cars, and you got it. You're a resident, or the address that they provide doesn't establish nationality. It's just communication where you can be served. You're a freaking tourist, remember? Anyway, so I'm trying to come up with some type of a declaratory judgment to take to the Secretary of State and see what they can do to make a determination. Hey, what's my nationality? Hey, you're putting me in an impossible
right, but
comply with.
Patrick's method work. His method is far simpler than what you've talked about here.
Does it? Can you rent a car off the documents that they get?
That's what we're after. Yes.
Sir?
We're after the green passport and the green being placed on the green sheet. That's what he brought up first.
Right, but is that a document you can walk into a car rental and say, hey, I want to rent a car?
Have you read the ballot yet?
Did you look at the ballot?
Have you read the ballot that we're sending in?
I'm sorry, I'm at a disadvantage here. I've recently got on a few days the stupid Yahoo thing. No, I haven't seen the documents enough, but I am listening and watching what's coming across.
Okay, well, it's the very last step we discussed.
I do need clarification on becoming the elector, getting on that ballot type of thing. So, yeah, I'm blank on that.
Yes, you need to read the ballot, because the ballot directs the court to accomplish what you've just spent time talking about.
Hallelujah. That's what I was hoping I understood the group was about.
And so you need to get on the ballot. When you deal with the Yahoo group and you go to the main file section, there's a few files there, and there's some directories there. On the menu line, always go to actions and sort it in date order, because that will give you the latest directory first.
Yes. I am familiar with that format, but my Yahoo account somehow is not.
Okay. Well, once you can get that,
you can go to econcurrent.com and go divine/files.
Let me make. I still have to have the Yahoo sign.
Have you joined the Yahoo group?
How did you find us?
One of your members sent it to me, and I got on the mail list. Okay.
Are you on the Skype group, Knights of Light, or anything?
I have computer problems that won't allow me to get Skype to download.
We've been told to talk to people and share what Patrick's teaching, so we are kind of putting the word out. So probably somebody shared it with you.
You gave me an alternative way to view the files?
Yes. Go to econcurrent.com. ECONCURRENT.com.
Okay.
econcurrent.com.
Wait. Excuse me. Is it an I at the beginning or an E?
No, E.
Thank you. I have it now.
Econcurrent.
I've got it.
That won't get you there. It's econcurrent.
It'll get you to the parent directory. It'll get you to the calls, and you got anything else you can listen to. You can look at documents there. You have to add econcurrent.com/divine. Yeah, I was saying that. I told him that.
Oh.
/divine/files, or either one.
I have it now.
Now, when you go there, that site doesn't have the ability to present the files in date order. What you're looking for is you're looking for the voting trust elector ballot.
Official. The word official.
Official voting trust elector ballot.
Official voting elector ballot.
Trust elector ballot.
Trust elector. Okay. Good.
So what has been the effect so far, or results so far on the voter trust?
Well, we've just submitted our ballots this week. There's some people.
About 10 people, yeah.
Yeah, there have been some people visited by the, I don't know, the Secret Service or the Marshals. So we know we're getting a reaction.
Anyway, I just want to say I have come to the same conclusion as what I've come to understand Patrick, except for the details that you guys hopefully have figured out now.
Okay. Well, go get the if you can take a look at it in date order, find that official voting trust elector ballot, and get all the files from that date forward.
Great.
And that was put up there probably about a week ago.
Okay. I started.
Then go to the call of last Monday. You go in the call directory and go to the call of last Monday and the Friday before that.
Friday.
Yeah, and go to Sunday the 8th is good, and the Friday the 6th, yeah.
Sunday the 8th wasn't all that good.
Yeah, whatever. I thought it was pretty good.
Okay, well, you could do that too, but on the Friday
I
the
might have
6th,
even been on those calls that early.
On the Friday, I think on the Friday the 6th, there's a transcript, and for the 8th, there will be a transcript soon.
Oh, wow.
And that will be in the call directory. I find it easier to work off of transcripts.
Patrick refers to the green sheet. Is that just slang for a record recording, or is there another terminology the state?
No, evidently it's a kind of an official term where all the people who have the status you are talking about are put, including, from what Patrick says, the people who are qualified to be electors.
Right, and I just was wondering if there.
Danicki pointed out before he got obnoxious is that and Patrick has pointed that out too. Since there are so few electors that are qualified, they have to use people who are simply voters, not electors. Yeah, you really, because even though the ballot came this last week, the ballot is leaning on some of the stuff that we've done over the past month. Most of the stuff we've done over the past month. So you want to get familiar with the ballot first, but then go back and go through that whole directory called 101 National Equity Court.
One national.
I have a question.
But is there another name?
Where are you located at? We're trying to assemble groups in different states so that we can talk to each other and help each other out.
And we can also organize calls at any time in this room, and it doesn't have to be everybody. If the people in the state want to talk together, that they can use this room to do it.
So where are you at? Did you want to say?
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm out in Arkansas. Steve. Or Hobart. Sure.
Yeah, hi, Steve.
You said 101 National what?
101-National Equity Court.
Equity Court.
Is that what I called it? Let me check.
Hey, what is the baptismal certificate?
Well, if you're Catholic, that's obvious. However,
So
every
basically,
church is still associated. Oh, not 101-National Court of Equity. Okay, but every church is part of the church. The Church of Rome is not the Catholic Church. It's sort of a commercial venture that all the churches belong to. So, in your own religion, you have to find out if there is an equivalent of a birth certificate.
Okay.
Can I interrupt?
It is the equivalent of the birth certificate.
Right.
May I interrupt?
Okay.
May I add to that?
Sure.
Hello? Rob Ryder really dug into that, and what he's basically found is the
Guys,
Catholic
speak up.
Church.
We can't hear you.
All right. What Rob Ryder found, whether it's valid or not, the Vatican considers any baptism under their jurisdiction. But it takes three events filled in on their Catholic baptism to make you a fully qualified Christian that comes under the protection of the church and that kind of thing. So what they're doing is, and also it says if the father and mother are known or listed on the thing, then it makes it a bastard. Well, they list the names of the parents. The second thing, they leave the confirmation or one of the ceremonies off, so they never complete the baptism correctly. So you never gain what they, quote, promise you're supposed to have. Leave you as bastards, of course. Bankers.
Well, but from if you read the ballot, what Patrick is doing is just using the fact that the baptismal certificate or whatever form it is
right,
actually linked to the certificate of live birth and the Sister E.K. Trust.
Right. You don't baptize a corporation.
Right.
Yeah, I'm aligned with that. I just wanted to give you the other viewpoint, the way the Catholics are, doing their little scam.
Any information you have about how people, the equivalent of baptismal certificates, I think the group would appreciate that. Any addition you can add to that particular subject of the equivalent of the
it's
the
pretty
Catholic.
simple.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. One, only a live soul gets baptized. But two, if it has the name of the mother and the father are known, this is the way the canon law is, then it's a bastard child.
Okay.
Okay. So,
but
how could it be a bastard child with a mother and father that's known?
I'm telling you, that's the trickery and reverse logic.
If they're not married, it has to be married.
The way the baptist,
the way it's written,
way the certificate of live birth is prepared, you never know that they're married, and in fact, the certificate of live birth purports that they are all bastard children.
Yeah, it's a trick. It's a trick because you would want to know, hey, this is the mother, this is the father, this is the marriage ceremony, but they've written it so when you put that information in, you've announced yourself as an infant bastard.
Right. Now, what I meant, though, about the qualifications, if you can find anything official in writing that states that, I think that would really help people. Whatever the qualifications are for the general church, and you cite whatever canon law you can find on that.
But if they send it to the Mrs. with the husband's name, like Mrs. Harry S. Sawyer or something or whatever, you have to they know that she's married to him. I mean, there's ways that they can do things with class to say that she's married.
Right, but right now the certificate of live,
and they use the man's name.
Yeah, but on certificate of live birth, they always use just the mother's maiden name.
Right, and there's nothing else. Right.
Right.
I have a notification of birth registration, and it has the Mrs. With the husband's name, the way it's supposed to be. I mean, that's evidence.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some phoning around tomorrow, see what I can find out about electors. I just pulled up. In fact, I was reading that, and I didn't notice the control board and didn't figure out it was Jim Danicki, but I could have shut him off right away. I've already removed him from the Skype group. Electors qualifications, and it's on the Heritage Organization. Nice and right wing, but that's okay. We'll find out, as long as it's official stuff, we'll look at it.
Did Patrick talk about anything good today? I got on kind of late. I got stuck in traffic. But I guess I'll listen to the recording. Did he have some good stuff to say, or what?
Well, he basically got started on going over the new facts that he has generated. But when he got talking about going to the state attorney general, basic Danicki started the fight.
So the language that's in the facts, isn't that a little combatant?
Yes, that's putting it mildly.
Yeah.
But
belligerent would be a good word.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I would not send mine in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind issuing another fine. However, I would give them more of an opportunity to cure before I reacted to it.
Is that tax document already posted on the group?
Yeah, it was posted up around 2 this afternoon.
Okay. Because it could be considered an act of war.
Well, it's more challenging them to a duel.
Yeah, so that's like opening a can of worms.
It's a mental duel.
Saying you have the right to self-defense is kind of challenging. I've used that, but why not? You got to tell them. I mean, they're kidnapping us.
But I like the idea of just preempting the judge on that issue and finding out if you could actually on the state level get qualified as elector. Don't carry it any further than that. Just get on the green sheet as an elector. Then going back to the judge and saying, look, I don't need any verification from you as an elector. I've already got it.
And so you get the other route.
My problem is with his current facts, he is sending it into a specific judge. But the last thing we did on the ballot is actually not send it to the specific judge, but send it to the clerk of court and telling the clerk of court, you find the proper qualified judge. So I don't see how we could send that fax in without knowing which judge it's been sent to.
The court administrator would be the clerk of the court, right?
The clerk of court is an administrator, but there's a whole lot more power than that.
So how would you find a name? Because you would want a name to attach to
the ballot. I think in the ballot we asked in the cover sheet that once they find the proper judge to send us confirmation of who that judge is.
Well, I meant the name of the clerk of the court.
Look that up on any, you can find that online.
Yeah, okay. All right. So are there any other routes?
Every district court has a website listing the judges and the clerk of courts and all kinds of phone and fax numbers.
So is there an alternative route to getting on the green list?
That's a research project now.
Oh,
okay. Okay. A note here. Patrick's all right now. He's wanting, because they're saying he was just left so mad he didn't want to call back in. He wants us to go ahead and do our processes and list everything we need to get things done. I assured him we were behind him and others getting things done. And many are using his research in ways to get things accomplished. He was in a very good mood when we hung up. So take all your concerns about what you want and write them down for a list of questions to be asking on the next call, or figure. If you're going to be successful at all this, you got to get past your computer problems and your Yahoo problems. Because if you can't access the documents and your computer isn't working enough for you to generate documents, it's no use. So that needs to be a priority for you. Okay?
So I'll listen to the call tonight, Thomas, and then I'll
Okay. So I guess Holbert or whatever. Oh, he's just still here.
See, one guy starts yelling and the other guy starts yelling, and then it just buck horns, you know.
Yeah, that's the problem with this call-in thing is there's no way of because evidently if two people start talking at the same time, they don't know if someone else is talking. They only hear themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just simply a fault of this technology.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, if somebody's yelling at you, you should just like back up and respect it. You know, just like if you're in the Army or something, you know, your drill sergeant might start yelling at you. You can't start yelling back at him.
Well, I should have not been looking at that elector stuff. I should have been watching the control board and shut that off.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if we got nothing more to do, you know what Patrick wants. He wants us to keep working on it, and ask questions on the Yahoo group or get on the Skype group. And Hobart, you need to join the Yahoo group. Get the welcome email, and it gives you all the links on how to get to these calls and get to the files, and a lot of extra advice on how to get things done. But you will need to have access to a working computer and a multifunction printer so you can scan stuff.
Just about got it.
Okay.
I do receive the emails from the list.
Well, that helps. Can you write emails to? Well, if you can receive them, then you're actually already a member.
I have not attempted to reply, and when I went to sign up, the Yahoo says I have to physically call them, which I've been too busy. But I'll get it.
Okay. Well, I'm surprised you can receive email that should say that you just reply and see what happens. See what you get back.
All right, I'll outline. While I can be heard, Robbie Ryder went and dug into this elector stuff, and he basically found the only existing republics function, so to speak, would be down at the most smallest organizational level, township, sometimes even like a school administration. Of course, he ran into problems.
We need. We can get qualified as a reelector at the corner gas station. That should be enough.
What?
We're an elector on the green sheet. That's all we need.
Is there another name for the green sheet?
Not that I know of.
Does the state have a term for that?
That's something else we can ask Rob Ryder.
Yes.
If you can find point as to whatever he says about electors, that should help us too.
It was quite informative, but it would name certain officers and function, like you mentioned, court administrating. He did a whole thing of that. They bounce it around a lot, and it can be anyone. It doesn't necessarily have to be the clerk. It's whoever the judges say, hey, you handle it. Usually it'll be the chief judge. But
well, the way what I understand is the clerk of court is the only one who actually has the authority to distribute the orders.
Yes, and what he's
Unless I don't know what happens in private. It may be that even in a private judgment, the clerk still has to distribute.
You want to know another little trick they do? Clerk with the oath, with the bond, has some kind of legal disability. So they're not often signing much. It's the deputies, which didn't take the same level oath or responsibility. So, clerk didn't do it.
About a year and a half ago, I had some email communication with a guy who said he was an ex-clerk of court. I wish I had captured who he was, so that as this stuff came up, I could ask him some questions, and we can get some help in figuring out the system. Because he said all clerks of court know what's going on, and every judge at every level really knows what's going on.
Well, ask one who the court administrator for their system is and see what happens. They go, huh? What?
Well, they may know, and they also may know the rules for what they're supposed to say. But they do know. They may not be in the position to tell you with keeping their job.
Granted. But it still ends up being concealed from us.
Right. Well, as you work with Patrick, he takes any kind of response as a clue and is able to come up with a whole lot of deductions based on the incomplete information we get back. As long as it's something different, it's something useful.
Well, one of the fellows, I've saved it, I don't remember offhand, but anyway, he said to correct your records with the Secretary of State, and of course he was doing it more with a car registration. I'd be doing it more with my travel document.
Right. Well, that's what we're asking, but I think it's a good idea. Don't do too much at one time. I think getting the elector status is probably key to all of this, and they probably won't recognize what we're doing.
Well, this fellow said that you could get the records corrected at the state level, then it trickled down into the computers of the police cars, and once they pulled up whatever number name, it would say, hey, aid and abet or release unless some damage or, real crime.
Right. But I'm not sure you got my point. Let's not pursue the driver's licenses and the passport and all that right now. Let's get the elector status. Go after the elector status because they probably won't understand that we know that once we get that, it links to all these other things. All the other things become automatic.
Okay.
That gives us our status to start ordering the judges around.
Oh, these judges scare me.
From what Patrick is saying, we can also scare them.
Yeah.
But there are judges who, if you can report against their bond, all it takes is 2 or 3 complaints, and they're out of a job.
Right. Well, in my case, I've basically won. This driver's license thing's more nuisance level, but I had the success through the administrative side with a few letters. But I suppose if the administration
let's concentrate on what we have right in front of us. That's the problem with new people coming in. They come in with all the stuff they know, and they concentrate on that rather than learning what we're doing. And that slows up the process of getting up to speed with this. Learn our whole process first, and then compare it to what you know. Don't justify part of our process against the totality of what you know.
I am not, and that's why I'm taking this opportunity when Patrick, I'm not interrupting him.
Right.
But I think it dovetails more than you realize at the moment.
Right.
All right, that's what I got to do is get you up to speed.
I welcome you to get up to speed because it sounds like you could help really contribute once you are.
I think I can, but I believe the framework Patrick has outlined is what I need to hang these other aspects on.
Right.
But again, my desire, the only thing I need is some kind of travel document, or I can rent a car anywhere, and if I have a tag, bulb out, that I don't get a
right.
No driver.
Well, we're not there right now, so don't concentrate on that. Concentrate on the steps that will get us there.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else?
No, we're done.
There's only a few people here, so I guess we're done. Right,
yeah.
Steve?
Okay, yeah, I'm good. I'll just wait till you get a recording posted and I'll listen.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry about the deal. We should talk and tell people, hey, don't make confrontations. Just don't do it.
Well,
who cares if the Masons are Jesuits and all that? It's all the same thing. They're all satanic organizations.
It's true, but
there's nothing to argue about.
Well, a lot of people are mixed up. I have that argument all the time, and I just don't get into it. They don't understand that banking is so important that everybody else is subservient to it, and the bankers don't mind at all pushing somebody out in front as saying, he's the one who's doing it, not me. Go after that guy.
Yeah. Scapegoats.
Yeah, I have a Jewish friend of mine who says they always put Jews in the window, so that's the one that people can go complain about.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Okay,
Good night.
you. Bye.